Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Susan Winter. Hi, and Brian Pablo. And we're talking about DC Comics and some of the fantasy action figures I've worked for. But today we are going to be talking about that horrible thing when somebody you're seeing or your partner asks for space. Brian Pablo's here. Patricia Ware is here. Keith has just joined us with the Susanites. Great seeing all of you here, and thank you. Those of you whose name is colored, that means that you're a member of this station, and I guess it's kind of like giving to public broadcasting. It's just that you keep me going, and you keep me excited to come here every week. So Keith, Brian, all of you, Patricia, so let me answer this question today. There's a lot in this one today, and the contributor, I have been told, will be here. Nicoletta, hi, from Greece. I spoke with you. This is so cool. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to make a small detour. Please take a look at the link below when this goes live. It's about my new group coaching classes. It's a program, but I will be coaching you. So imagine this, but a smaller group, people that you're working with twice a week, 60 to 90 minutes over a 5-week period where we're working on very specific issues, and I'm coaching you. I get to really work with you over an arc of time, helping you to bring love to you. I know you're all working at getting love. What if we could get your confidence up, your self-esteem up, really expand your communication skills and draw them to you? Plus create the design that you want and get you to verbalize it. Anyway, you want to have a free consultation with me, click the link that says free consultation for that. Let's go into the show today, and I hope Becca, not her real name, but I hope she's here. Tina, here we go. Tina, this is for Becca. Okay, now I'm going to read this. This is about the space question. Becca writes, hi, Susan. I've been in a something with a guy for a few months. He checks all the boxes and is a good person, but is not affectionate, never compliments me, or makes plans. I have to do it all. You obviously need my group course. He's divorced 3 years. I share my concerns about the previous, and he asked for space. Oh, but doesn't want to break up. I haven't seen him in over a week, but he texts several times a day. I'm so confused. Becca, you should be, and I'm so happy to see you here with your code name. So I wrote this lady back. Now, don't be shocked if you write for a video request and I actually answer you like immediately. I do that. Oftentimes I look at this stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I got to answer them. This is a nightmare. The first thing I asked Becca was, what boxes? Doesn't make any plans, like what boxes? So I wrote back, kind of like a little quip. I said, okay, let me guess, good in bed and good looking. And here's what she continued to write to me. Hi, everybody. Happy to see you here. We are talking about when they ask for space and there's already too much space to begin with. So she writes back, I can't believe you responded to me. Yes, I do. Thank you so much. I watch your videos over and over and have shared them with my girlfriends too, especially the breadcrumbing video. Thank you so much for everything you do. Because I know you're on the channel now. You are certainly welcome. And she continues, okay, I'm attracted to him because, well, yes, he is attractive and we do have good sex, but he's also owns his own business, has a beautiful home, cooks, physically fit, intelligent, and many more positive qualities. And I do believe he has a good heart. So I keep thinking, why? Why pull away? Why the space? Why not me? I'm great. I'm attractive, fit, professional, intelligent, funny, sweet, kind, genuine, own my own home, cook, have lots of hobbies, lots of friends. I'm easygoing and so much more. I just don't get it. I'm bummed, not heartbroken, just bummed. What do we think? You can put a million different titles on this. We can say, oh, he's avoidant, and I can have a whole discussion about avoidant. We can say, oh, he's emotionally shut down, he's got issues, he's not ready. We can have a whole discussion about that. I don't care what you want to call it. Bottom line, it is what it is. You can put a label on it if it helps you, but you're going to have to know how to respond to this action or lack of action. What do you do when somebody asks for space and there's already too much space? You want closeness. Here's the problem, my darling. You want him. You got lost in the list. I don't blame you. Those are phenomenal qualities for somebody who's single, okay? Good looking, great, athletic, owns her own home, ambitious, has a heart. But the bottom line is that heart open to you? These are very, very basic questions. So we fall in love with all the chips they have on the table. But if they're stingy and withholding, and they're not giving us space in their life, they're not making room for us. When a person like this, that you're already in a situationship with, pushes you back, how much further back can you go? Another continent? You're already not getting your needs met. So this is a structural design issue with a person who is either incapable or unwilling to do what you want to do. It is a structural issue. And you've got some good qualities you're aiming for with a person who is incapable or unwilling to participate. At the end of all the diaring about this and talking to your girlfriends and talking about his good heart and this and that, and oh my God, he loves his dog, and he's nice to his grandma, and he's got a good job, and he's so ambitious, and he's cute, and blah, 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 he's not doing the work. He's not showing up. And here's where we go. It's me. It's got to be me. I'm not enough. And yet you list like 20 chips that you have on the table. You can say that and then immediately say, why not me? We think it's personal. Sometimes it is. Sometimes they simply don't want us. Sometimes they've been allowed to use us. And so why should they make an effort? Sometimes they've been very happy coasting. But the question is, like, now that you know this, where is your worth and your value? You've thrown all your worth at this person, asking them to accept you, asking them to take care of you, asking them to acknowledge you. You need to find your worth in this. These are great qualities. Great. But are they for you? And I just think you're fishing in a very fertile pond that is unavailable. And you can be labor, whether it's you or it's not you, or you think your nose is too big, or whatever. I don't know whatever you got in your head. You're too young, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that. You sound dynamic. And I know it's good. For whatever reason, he doesn't want or isn't able to do more. I talk about locked and loaded, and that's a Susan term. I don't care who we are. I don't care what we're doing. It could be timing. It could be their issues. It could be some remnant vibe that you've got. It could be their family of origin. It could be that they were with a narcissist. They're getting over a breakup. They never processed it. Whatever. If they're not participating and they're not trying to make an effort and work with you, you've got nothing. Good heart, lots of great qualities, not boyfriend material. Looks like boyfriend material, not boyfriend material. Okay, now I know you're on this channel. I hope your girlfriends are too. I discovered recently I came across a stingy family with love and why I was attracted to that type. Okay, so Natalia, who's one of our constants here, is talking about it's a matter of respect. A woman does not know how to treat herself right, accepts the bare minimum, and they're not investing either. Okay, Gwyneth. Hi, everyone. Gwyneth, my dear, how are you? Insia, a member. Brian, a member. Keith, if he wants space, but text you, write back and say something like, I thought you wanted space. Why are you texting me? Oh! Woo! Keith, you got it. Okay? So I know you're on here. I want you to take a look at this and snapshot that. Keith, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. Yeah, takes one to, I just love this. Thank you so much. Okay. I've just realized the type of men we attract are normally mirrors of how we see ourselves. Okay. Now, I know where you are. Let me go back in here and find you. Hello, B. So happy to see you here. Where are you, my darling? Because I know your code name in here. I saw you. Are you listening? Okay, my love. So we're all here to help you, and we all believe in you. Here's the funny thing, and I know why you're sometimes getting excited about this. I can't see you. I need space, which in this case is code for don't ask me to be accountable or responsible. I want to do a timeout, but I like the fact that you're a soft landing. So I feel good about myself because you always accept me no matter what shitty things I do to you. So I'm going to just reach out to you to make myself feel good. Oh, but he has a good heart. Where's his heart? I don't know. It's hidden under layers. Where's the good heart for you? Like, how do you talk to this man? And I got an email from you today, blocking, unblocking, blocking, unblocking. Here's what I would do. If you have his number, I would just have it out, but you've got to know where you're going. I hate this indecision back and forth. We're in, we're out, we're maybe this, we're maybe that. Call a spade a spade. It's like, dude, I like you. I'm trying to be with you. We're in a situationship. That is the bare bloody minimum for a woman like me. I'm only in this because I think you've got a good heart, and I think you're warm to this, but something is blocking you. Now, I can't remove that issue. Only you can. And I can't stay interested in you unless you remove it. So either you sort this out for yourself, and I'd be happy to see you in a proper environment so that we can get to know each other and get something going. And if you're incapable, unwilling, unable, too distracted, not the right time, don't know, confused, not sure, not over your ex, don't know where you're going in life, then would you do me a favor? Please just leave this number alone and I'll say thank you and be done. Okay? This is the basically what you got to say to them. Okay? And for those of you who are in my group coaching, we'll be teaching all these little monologues and all these things as you need it. Okay? You've been there, done that. Annie says, great topic, Trista. I'm glad you like it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay. Victoria, hi. Annie Walker, stingy. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Mai says, she says, hi, Susan. At the moment, I'm binge watching your videos looking for help. I don't want love again, but peace of mind. Great, great. I don't have the money for professional help. Can you recommend a video? I've got about 800. And my titles are things that I think apply that aren't clickbait or SEO stuff. So I would go into my channel, put Susan Winter Plus, and write up peace of mind, and maybe it pulls it up from the tabs that I have, the keywords. But peace of mind is normally gained by being clear on who you are and what you want and what you're willing to accept in terms of life's response to you. Meaning, if you've chosen to sit out, make peace with it. If you're not looking for love again, make peace with it. And if your friends and relatives say, oh, but you're so wonderful, Maya, how come you aren't? You just say, you know what? I've decided to do this. Make peace with your choices. Meditate. Get close to the God of your understanding, or not, or walk in nature, or pet a puppy, or do whatever you've got to do to make yourself happy. Maybe reassess how you think your relationships went. Maybe you have too harsh a version of their ending. Modern relationships have become increasingly tricky. The things that were natural and easy for me in my lifetime are becoming like climbing a mountain. In my time period growing up, getting married was not a challenge. It was like basic. It was understood what one did. Avoiding marriage was a tricky thing. So now that we have such a confusing time period, the best way to navigate your forward movement is at all times be clear who you are, what you want, your values, your desires, and try to the best of your ability to speak honestly about that with your prospective partner or people in your life. Even if the most honest truth is, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. You need to communicate when you don't like something. That brings you peace of mind, and you need to have some boundaries. Okay? Let's see. What else do we have here? Dating and relationship situationships are exhausting, and even good guys are draining. Carrie, you're right, because most people inherently feel they deserve more than occasional acknowledgement. You all like yourself here. I mean, this is a very healthy group of people. You're not all struggling to function day to day. These conversations are not for those who have to struggle to get up, take a shower, and find a way to go to work or something. Everybody here is professional, employed for the most part, or self-employed, looking to improve the quality of their lives. So these are more high-end refinement conversations. And of course, it's going to feel strange when somebody doesn't see you with the same value you see yourself. So looking for our corresponding mirror, and somebody else mentioned this, how we think about ourselves on the inside is oftentimes reflected by how people treat us. But conversely, sometimes how we think about ourselves on the inside is pretty healthy, and there are some kind of nasty people on the outside, or cold or shut down, who have their own issues, and that doesn't have anything to do with us. All right, so let me see what else you all have to say. I am interested. Okay, she continues. We've been on and off like this for months, and now he's gone back on the dating app. I doubt I'll hear from him again, but I definitely want to write down exactly what you said, and that's how I'll respond. And you can listen to that in the replay. And okay, the cat's out of the bag. It's Tina. All right, Tina, I didn't want to say it, but okay, here you are. So obviously I'm going to answer this. Now, that stings. There you are with all these qualities, and he needs to go back on the dating app to find somebody else because he's not available. So somebody else is going to go through this business, okay? But he's not allowed to keep reaching out to you. So some of you have been bypassed as prospective lover or partner or committed partner, but people hold on to you for their own selfish reasons, for safety, security, or they love being adored. And that's when they've kind of got you orbiting around them. And they're the sun, and you're just orbiting around them. So it's ridiculous. You don't want to get in that situation. You can get trapped there. Here we have Natalia. Thank you, my darling. $10. Thank you for your super chat contribution. Anybody else that has a question, I'll grab them. But if I see it here in super chat, I'll definitely find it. Thank you. How can I best rest in my femininity if when I come out with someone and they don't take charge and don't create an exciting atmosphere? I step in and salvage tonight, or am I risking dying of boredom? Okay. You've had some uniquely horrible dates, or the ones you write about. I never hear about the good things. Nobody ever calls me and books a session and said, Susan, I just want to tell you I'm having this great life. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to pay you for nothing. So I've got a feeling I hear about the rotten ones here. I would do the same. You're never going to see this person again. It's not about femininity. I would think if I've gone out on a date and I can't escape, and for whatever reason, I'm trapped in a certain time period with this person, which first of all, I would never do. I make in and out coffee dates until I know something's normal. And if I even have a second or third date that's a little bit longer, I always want an escape plan. In the city, I meet them there. If it's outside of the city. I drive my own car. I don't let them pick me up. I don't want any of that because then I'm at your whim if I need to escape. It's always great to have a dog at home that you have to get back to, a grandmother you have to call, is something, okay? But I understand salvaging the date for yourself. You're bored to death, you're stuck with somebody, you have a certain amount of time, maybe you took a ferry in and you have to wait and come back. I don't know what the deal is, waiting for a train or something like that. Do something fun so you have a good time. The heck with them. You're not going to see them again. But you've had uniquely poor dates, and I don't know why. I see you here, but you'd be a good candidate to work with me. We need to sort some of this. Some of these things are very basic little things that are going wrong, and it's not that you all don't have the capacity to do a functional relationship. It's just some little things are wobbly. It's like a recipe, and if something's just off a little bit, sometimes the whole thing isn't going to work. So just think about that. Okay. I think it might be more of a guy's problem since we have to look strong and masculine all the time. Sense is not sure what that's writing on. Hi, Susan. How should you tell someone if you got bothered by something that they did, even if you now see where it is, come off as weak, needy, or butthurt? I don't know what that means. Bothered. I think that means bothered. No butt hurts here. Shouldn't you look unbothered and self-assured to attract? Okay. So here's the confusion. You're more concerned about how you appear to somebody who's already harmed you or made you feel uncomfortable. So that's a double bind. You can't move. Okay. So if a boundary has been crossed or somebody hurt you, as a basic training so that you gain your sovereignty and at least know what the truth is. 1, you acknowledge it to yourself. 2, you must be able to verbalize what it is. You were 20 minutes late. I find that disrespectful. You didn't show up. You didn't call on time. You told me that you were going to see me on Friday. You're more concerned about impressing this person than you are about expressing yourself. If it's respect you want, you will get more from a diplomatic, tactful expression of what went wrong than you will from worrying about all this business. Admitting that something was not correct or hurtful is simply showing somebody how to treat you. It doesn't mean you're weak. I agree some things happen so quickly in time that by the time they pass, it's kind of hard to go back and talk about it. It's like you're still trying to figure out what your rights are and how do I say it. But remember, in the correction itself, you establish control and respect. Whenever you have to say something, there's a formula that you need to do in your mind. What is it exactly that hurt me? What did they do? What would I prefer that they do? And I'm just telling them this for their information. Okay? Then you stop talking and you see what they do with it. All right? That's a good question. This has a little bit to do with space. Rahul writes, what are your thoughts on people in a long-distance relationship getting together only twice a year with tons of space between them and rushing to get engaged solely based on lust and limerence? Well, if you desperately want to be married, then do it with a prenup. But that sounds like, are you talking about yourself or somebody else? It almost sounds like somebody else, like an ex, and you're trying to figure out why this is not a good idea. There's something else underneath here. Long distance relationships. I have a dear friend, a German therapist who's coming into town. I'm going to see her in a couple of weeks. She's in a long distance committed relationship with a partner who will come into town, visit her country every 3 or 4, for maybe 3 weeks at a time, every 2 or 3 months. It works for her. It works for him. There's trust. Whatever it is, they've sorted it out, but they're in a committed relationship. Okay? Um, Getting married is a big deal. Here in the US, I don't know about other countries, but here in the US, it's a legal contract where you are financially bound with this individual. Do not take that lightly. And getting divorced is getting harder and longer. If you have everything to gain from being married, such as you are looking for residency in the US or you're an illegal alien and you've overstayed your visa, then you're gaining from it. If you're the one who's marrying somebody with money, you're gaining. You're the one who's got the money, you're losing. You're the one who's got the residency, you're losing. So think about it twice. It's not that easy to extricate yourself. You hear about these divorces in Las Vegas, but it's not like that anymore in most places. So you already know the answer to this. Many people get married due to attraction and lust. And then they wonder why they're in a rotten relationship a year and a half later, 2 years later, 3 years later. So marriage is a serious commitment. It means you're intending to really be with this person. You've got to like them a lot. And you've got to have a disposition that works well with them. And you've got to be on par for what you want to create. Okay? Anybody else have any questions? I still want to talk about this really uncomfortable moment when people ask you for space. When there's too much space already, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. There are times that someone will ask for space who is in an actual relationship with you. And let's say you don't live together, but they are needing to sort something out. And they have to have absolutely all of their focus on it. And perhaps you are a person who needs more attention and they need less, but they have to focus. It could be a dying parent. It could be the startup of a company. It could be that they're doing their thesis, that they're defending their doctorate, or whatever that I'm drawing a blank on what you call it, but when you present, and for a limited amount of time, they're kind of off the calendar to anything social. And your partner, because you're in partnership, will explain to you, look, I need some time and focus and space. I can't see you as much. I love you. I'm not going anywhere. So the one who's pulling away in a committed relationship has to keep reinforcing, I love you. I'm here. It's not a slow fade. I'm not breaking up with you. And here's the reason. And the one who is in the relationship, if you sense in your heart of hearts, this is a real relationship with a real person who loves you, and you do not have that underlying fear like, oh my God, they're trying to pull away. If you know that to be true, then give them their space. It's temporary. Ask how long. How long do you need? Okay? Let's see. Ryan Pablo is talking to people. What are your thoughts on creating space, taking the relationship slowly? If you're unsure about the person, don't trust them, but are attracted. You already know the answer, Tristan. You already did it. You have to. You have to. Tina, 1999. Thank you, my dear. We've had a lot of conversations. I'm always attracted to emotionally unavailable men. All right. Happen to know what this is, right? What are immediate red flags I can look for going forward to avoid this? The minute you notice a man and you feel that flutter, go, oh, bingo. They don't change overnight. Your frequency builds up energetically like a radio frequency, like a tower. I know people probably don't have radio. Every once in a while I see them. I see these radio, I don't know, like antenna things, for a radio station. And a lot like the 5G networks or whatever, you build up a current, and you build up a current for a certain type of person. My girlfriend has decided to go for a certain type of guy. She's never dated before. This is all she's seeing now. And that's all that's seeing her, because that's where she's focusing her attention. So for you, if you know your tendency is to only find unavailable men attractive, I will tell you what the answer is, but then I want to tell you why, okay? One, the minute you see a guy, the first thing you ask yourself is he the guy who's like husband, stay-at-home dad material? Is he a man who's going to make a commitment to me? Does he look like that kind of guy? Oh, no. He looks like that wild stallion I can't wait to ride and see if I can break him, see if I can get him to love me, see if I can have the confidence to capture him. So if you got to ask yourself immediately, I still do this. I notice, fellows, that my radar is still the way it was 20 or 30 years ago. Now, I'll notice somebody, and the minute I look at them, I'll say, Susan, what the hell is that guy going to do with you? Come on. What do you think he is going to be able to? What will you be able to do with him? Is that what you want? Come on. And then, without even thinking about it, I run into somebody who looks at me and talks to me, and they've got that playful, businessmen that are like really cool businessmen. They're so relaxed, and they're playful, and they're fun. I met somebody at Core Club last night, and it's just the interaction. And I just thought, this guy's a great guy. I mean, I loved the way I felt and the way I interacted with him. There was this playful banter. The fact that the man walked into that place is, I already know his qualifications. I'm like, now that's something you could entertain if you can pull yourself away from this bloody desk of yours all day long. So, Tina, my darling, one, thank you for your note. Thank you for listening today. And I also want to remind you, any of you that know you're attracted to a certain type of unavailable person, give yourself a break. Your eyes are going to focus on this kind of person, or a type that you've had bad luck with repeatedly. Every time you catch yourself, say, whoops, there I go. Ask yourself the pivotal question: can this person love me? Is this the kind of person who's going to back me up, be there, and I can lean back? Is this person going to enhance the quality of my life? Or, short phrase, are they going to be good to me and good for me? I say those little things so my mind can remember short phrases. So that's what I would say. And if not, go, nope, and pass. And you will train it out of yourself. You'll have that energy for a while, and then after a while, you will actually lose it. Okay, let's see what else. I find unavailable boring. Annie, congratulations. Yeah, I find unavailable unattractive in that there's some quality. I mean, I can appreciate unavailable because you're focused on creating something ambitious. I don't know, you're saving the planet, or you've got the latest app that's going to improve people's health or something. I can appreciate that. But if you're just unavailable because you're confused or got a hurt, I'm so turned off. I am so turned off by people who lack emotional resilience, because nowadays we have thousands of free portals for advice. We've got counseling, and I'm not talking about people with emotional or mental imbalances. I'm pleased that I'm cutting that entire audience out. Regular people who get involved with something and don't bother to educate themselves in a time period where 30 years ago I didn't have this. You don't think I could have used something like this during dating a younger man? There was no information. I had to go to the bookstore. You think anybody was writing about it when I was living it? No. Now we can go online. We can listen to people. We can talk to people. And the general information during the evolution of all of us as humans is so much greater. You've got 20-year-old kids that know stuff that has been passed down to them. You know, I met a guy the other day. Those of you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I posted a picture of this guy, Robert. I took a break. Actually had to leave the house. Got off my computer. I had a dental appointment, and decided to sit and have a cup of coffee for a moment and just enjoy New York. And I'm dictating. I think, Tina, I was dictating to you in my phone to go into email, and the guy heard me. His name's Robert, and he said, just as I'm getting up from the table, he said, "I really love your videos." And then I said, "Okay." I sat down and I said, "Talk." So then I went into coaching him. I can't help myself. But he'd had an abusive relationship with somebody, and he said, "I didn't know what it was. I learned the word narcissist. I didn't know what it was. I learned the word withholding." He said, I fell in love, and this woman disrespected me and treated me horribly. And I said, "It's about control." And he educated himself. And he said, "I've never done this in my life, but I had to." But you know what? He had access to free information. So there's no barrier. There's free information out here for everybody. Let's see. Off the subject, I keep attracting younger guys. I haven't tried dating younger guys. I'm in my 40s. My friends think it's okay. I feel confused. Am I being closed-minded? Carrie, it's not for everybody. I don't ever want to push anybody in any direction. It's got to feel right for you. The benefit of a younger man is, as you get older and you're a woman in shape and you got money and you've got your own home, you got whatever, and you've worked hard, you got a lot of chips on the table, you may notice that men that would be in your dating arena, age-wise, don't want you. Doesn't matter. They'd rather have 28, not 40. They'd rather have 35, not 50. I don't blame them, but maybe you haven't made allowances for that either. If you're looking for, it depends on what you need. I was attracted to a younger man, one. And then that scent, I guess, got on me. I would drive my car to like get gas, and these kids would jump out from the gas station and like start washing the windows. They didn't do it with anybody else. I'm like, what's going on? So I just had that scent for whatever reason. It was so weird. It was like, I felt like I'd walk through the park and all the dogs would come chasing me. It was just crazy. And then I met one of the great loves of my life and resisted him for over a year. Treated him as a friend, just thought he was somebody who wanted to chat with me while I was trapped on a Stairmaster reading a book on metaphysics this thick. So you don't have to want anything. Don't do something because it's in vogue. Don't do something because it's modern or it's considered what one must do. Ask yourself how you feel about it. And if you have a curiosity or it is something that's interesting to you, you'll find an opportunity, or an opportunity will find you to come into your life, and some young man will talk to you and he'll be special. It's not every person. It's a special group of people, okay? Just like attraction. It's not everybody. My girlfriend loves dark. She's as white blonde as they come. It's not every kind of dark. She loves like dark, as dark as possible. She likes the opposite. But just because a guy has dark hair doesn't mean that that's somebody she'll be attracted to. She'll notice them, but that doesn't mean that's her guy. So always look for the qualities that you're looking for. Okay, so any other questions about this? Narcissists are very addictive, but serve as a valuable lesson and uncover your weak spots. Natalia, that's actually very bright. Katya! Katya is one of my clients. Hello, dear. And Katya has got the love of a young man. And listen, sometimes they do lack the maturity. They'll do dumb things, not on purpose, but because they don't know what else to do. Remember, people do strange moves in the dating world when they're at an impasse and they're panicking and they don't know what to do. Normally, they'll try and escape. Okay? It's like an animal. Just think of an animal. An animal gets panicked. It doesn't know how to move forward. It may want to, but it'll run the opposite direction. And the same thing happens in dating. All right? Let's see. Any other questions? Let's see. I can't attract young or my age. Huh. Oh. maybe enhance all that's out there. You never know. Sometimes attraction is very much a matter of the meeting of the minds or being in the right environment where you have enough opportunity. There are many people who write me, and as I get further into their story, whether it's here or you've written for a video request or you're a client, the more I get into your story, I realize that you're in a very limited environment. I have a very high level CEO in a European city that just I think the nature of the religious background there and the upbringing is that people marry immediately and right out of high school. And though there's a great international workforce, I think that just a lot of people are paired. And so and I've got another client in another major European city who's come in, a single woman who put her career first, late 30s, early 40s. The other lady is divorced. And they happen to be in an environment where, quite frankly, there's slim pickings and most people have been taken. And unlike the US, where there's a lot of turnover, these are more traditional people with a traditional culture, and they tend to stay in their relationships and make them work. And there's just a smaller dating pool. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's always better to go where you have options. And that's the only reason we do online. Trust me, everybody hates online. Everybody does, except scammers that are on there looking for your money and players. But people want a relationship, all hate online, but we do it just to increase the odds of maybe meeting somebody outside our social circle or our work environment or outside of our immediate vicinity. All right, are there any other questions, people, that you have? I want to talk briefly about the list that Becca, aka Tina, wrote about. Ticks off everything on the list. The list. Again, the chips that somebody possesses may be fabulous, good, but do they apply to you? This is the same kind of work I do in the breakup. Those of you who've done breakup triage, they may have these fabulous qualities that we have so elevated their worth because of these chips that they have. But does it mean that they share them with you? They may be an incredible worker, but for their profession, not in the relationship. They may be incredibly loving to their family, but not to you. So these things count when you're going to invest. And I want to remind everybody that the days that we have here are not known. And the environment that we live in, everything appears to be here, but life can happen very quickly and a lot of sudden changes can occur. And if you were to invest in something, I would ask you to invest wisely unless, and this is the only exception, you're doing duty dating, and that's a Susan term for dating for data because you're not really sure what you want. But once you know what you want, choose wisely. It's no different than throwing money into a stock. You want to research it, you want to believe in the company. Why would you just throw your heart at somebody? That's valuable, as is your peace of mind. You don't want mental anxiety. Why would you do that to yourself? So think it through. All right, any other questions? Brian, wish I'd learned that a lot sooner. Your advice is golden. Well, I didn't. That's why I can tell it to you. Don't think I didn't have to go through this stuff myself. And what I didn't know on my own, I had to find out through really rugged work. Oh my goodness. I dated players for 6 years because I had nothing to share with you guys. I had loving, committed relationships with men that wanted to marry me from day one. I think I had one guy fool me. The first guy I came to New York, I was corporate roadkill. I was like under the bus within 2 or 3 weeks. He met my parents, insisted my parents had flown into town anyway, but he insisted upon meeting them and, marriage and children and Greenwich, Connecticut, and he was at a law firm. He wanted to be a partner, And he was very clear that he needed the right type of wife to be a partner, that they didn't take single guys in this time period. I mean, I didn't want to be married, but I was flattered by what appeared to be rather strong commitment. And yet, in the back of my mind, as I continued to date him over the next couple weeks, I started to notice something I'd never experienced in my life. That, I went from the Saturday night date or the Friday night date to the Thursday date to the Tuesday to like every other week. And I thought, what the hell is this? I didn't know what that was. And before I knew it, this was a long time ago. I'd first come to New York and I found myself crying, going, and confused. I didn't have that experience before. And I didn't know what it was, but when he took me out, I said, I'm not sure what this is, but this is really not working for me. And if you just want to toy with somebody, do it with somebody that's not built like I am, where you have to break me in order to get your kicks. Because whatever my language was back then, it's not now. And I remember he cried. And I'm sure he's practiced that many times over. But, in my time, we didn't get fooled. I had to learn how to date the players, get hurt, get up, get hurt, get up, get hurt, get up, until I went, oh, tuck and roll. Now I know how to do this, okay? So here we have $5. Oh my, who is this? Natalia again. How to stop looking for love but continue putting yourself out there at the same time. Perfect. I've done a little puzzle on my dating profile uncovering. Natalia, I really suggest you consider this group coaching I'm doing, how to let love work for you. A little complicated, bear with me. I'm going to go metaphysical, but for those of you that are practical, listen anyway, because the steps are still the same steps. You want something, but you don't want to get in your way by wanting it too much. How do you bring it to you and bring the right thing to you? Because there's some forethought that has to be done. Correct. We set, okay, again, this is an opinion. This is my technology. This is the way I do it. You all have a different way. Doesn't mean any other way is wrong. This is how I think it works for me. You set your intention as to the quality of experience. I don't set myself to the height, to the age, to the looks. I don't even set it to the gender anymore. I'm just like, I like humans. Okay, not going to start up with Nika. She's just lying like this. She's on the bed. You know how the doggies do that? I'm just asking for, in my mind, I say, this is what I want to feel. This is what I want to experience. And I make that rich. I really tell myself what that would be. And that's what I would suggest you do. Like, I want to feel safe. I want to feel loved. I want to lean back, and I want a partnership that is going to add to my life, not exhaust the hell out of me. I want somebody that is functional, up and running, in addition to an already good life. So when you're very skilled at certain forms of nurturing and assisting people, there's oftentimes a tendency to want to fix somebody. Done, 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 and done, and done. I run from that. And oftentimes, when you're changing course and you really want to eradicate a pattern that you have had of a certain type of person, if you're a fixer, healer, builder like I am, you'll want to take a big time out until you have so changed your energy that you don't even attract the same kind of person. If you do, it's abhorrent to you. The person and what they need from you is absolutely abhorrent. All of you, a breeze. I don't mind talking about your stuff. That's easy. Somebody that I have with me that needs me to help them live their life, I'm too old and you're too old to need that kind of rudimentary help. Go to somebody else, okay? So when you know what you want, the way to draw it to you is get very clear on what you want to experience, how you want to feel. That's your guide. And once you set your guide, you don't have to go and hunt and look. The fact that you've claimed a clear focal point inside yourself, the qualities you want to feel: peace of mind, steadiness, security, mutual affection, fun, comfort, happiness, calm, diplomatic, rational conversations, good energy, good to you, good for you, these kinds of words. Then anything that's not in correspondence with that, if you tend to look at it or notice it or it comes to you, you're going to feel this kind of like a friction, like off. It's off. It's off. It's off. It's not on point. That's how you do it. You bring it to you by really digging deep into those qualities. So I know it's kind of, those screens been frozen on here. I hope you all have that. So did you get what I'm saying there with this? Yes, definitely a fixer. My friends joke that all the time. Look at Natalia. She's got another stray. Natalia, if you know that about yourself and you like it, just get into my profession. Because then you can help people and it's actually really rewarding because they listen to you. Okay? So do you understand Mika is currently in cloud 9? I think so. Her little legs are open. Her face is open. I think if I turn this, I don't know if I'm going to lose the connection, so I don't want to do it. But she looks adorable. Let's see. Great point. Not to be the one to lift up their life. Ladies, guys, many of us, we have a lot of chips and we have a lot of capability. Many of you here are highly functional. And of course, when you see somebody that inspires your affection or your interest, you want to give to them. But we always have to ask, there's nothing more frustrating than giving, giving, giving. And then the moment you take your hand away, they collapse because it was all your energy. Energy, like time in life, is finite. There's not that much human energy. And you will find that your peace of mind and tranquil calm, tranquilo, that's something that you get from being sorted within your own mind. And it's really hard to keep cranking out, holding somebody else up. Moms do this for their kids. And if you're a mom, you don't want another big grown-up that you've got to take care of. Yes, we love and we nurture. And yes, there'll be times that our partner needs us and we're really there for them, but they should also be capable of assisting us too. So what we're looking for is a mutual connection that's warm and grounded and healthy. Understand? Okay, so there we go. Love you, Susan. I'm almost 35 and have always been single and have always been single, never had issues meeting men, and the quality keeps getting better. This is wonderful. However, the ones I meet and like never seem ready. I feel like I'm done. That's, well, good for you. It's just a matter of time. Sometimes being done is a good place. You know what? Because it's like giving up, and hear me out in this. It's like not trying. It's like, okay, I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not looking for love. Love comes when you're not looking for it. So the trick to that is, I've been looking, universe, I told you what I wanted. You didn't bring it. You keep giving me guys that are not ready. Okay, going on with my life. I will take that pottery class. I do want to do that hiking trail. And I don't care, you know what, I'm going to go to Dubai by myself if I have to. And you make plans for your life. And then boom, someplace along the line, you meet somebody and you're like, I didn't expect to meet you. Because you're busy living your life. If you're done, give yourself a dating break. Give yourself a mental break. Invest in yourself. Just do that for a while. And sometimes that frees up the space for them to come. It's like, you know the stories about women who can't conceive, and then they finally adopt a child, then immediately get pregnant because they're not stressed over it anymore. Okay, everybody, we have nearly come to the end of the hour. Bea and Gwyneth, thank you for being great moderators here. Natalia, thank you so much. Oh, Katya, a member for 2 months. Darling, Susan, I don't want to sound lewd, but there is no other way to say it. You look so hot today. Thank you. Also, I have a little cleavage. I'm, I'm learning from my Instagram girls. Thank you so much. I fluffed up my hair a little bit, pumped up the lipstick color. This YouTube thing kind of makes me go gray, and I'm trying to get brighter color in here. So thank you. I'm not upset by that. Katya, I adore you. Barbara and I spent 2 days with Katya in Split, and that was really lovely because she's one of my ongoing clients. And, I've met with many of my clients when I'm traveling across the world. And, so it's a lot of fun, and she's a very loving and wonderful person. And a younger man came into her life, which was completely unexpected. So, Katya, thank you so much. You're not lewd, not at all. Let's see. I'm adopted. My mom got pregnant several years later. I'm adopted too, Carrie. Yes. Okay. You are so funny. Okay. Thanks, Susan. Thank you for your time. Bridget, you're right. Thank you as always, Susan. Okay. So everyone, let's see. I think I've gotten to everything. Carrie, everyone, Brian, Natalia, thank you for your contributions. Let's see. Tina, so happy you were on the show today. And Natalia, you've been so great. Anything else? I just want to make sure I've it. And Ava Lonis of Avanoles, thank you so much for being in the family. Who is this? Oh, Joanna J, $5. My boyfriend broke up with me out of guilt. This is the second time. First time was because he went to a club without me. Well, that's not too bad. This time because I caught him messaging other women. Okay, so then it is a pattern. Were you in a committed relationship? First of all, he's your boyfriend. Okay, so you've obviously made terms. Everybody, no matter what label you put on it, make sure you define what the agreement is. Is your partner allowed to go to a club without you? For some people, that's not an issue because they can totally trust their partner. They're just having a good time. For other people, no, you're going to a club to see what else is out there, flirt them up, chat them up. That makes me uncomfortable because I don't know what you're going to be doing. There might be drugs and alcohol involved. This sounds, Joanna, and thank you for your contribution for the $5. You caught him messaging other women. So, okay. A doggy that's going to chew. Anybody that's had a puppy knows between the years 1 and 1.5, dangerous time period. They're teething. And I noticed with my Samoyed Diva that she would sniff before she destroyed and chewed. I saw her sniffing at the intersection between the marble flooring and the carpeting that I had in my home. And she was sniffing, sniffing, sniffing. Woke up the next morning. The carpet had been ripped all the way back. The padding was everywhere in chunks, and she got it as far back as she could till she hit the dining room table, which was way too heavy for her to move. Okay, they sniff before they chew. Get rid of this one. This is no longer a boyfriend. He broke up because of guilt. He should have done it earlier. He's at least bad boyfriend. I'll give him a light gold star for having some ethics. He knows he shouldn't be your boyfriend. Do not chase him. Do not change the story. Do not seduce yourself into thinking he's going to come back to you. Do not play hard to get. You should tell him. If you haven't made an exit statement, you should do so. Tell him, I don't like what you did, but I appreciate the fact that you feel guilty about it. That means there's a human being inside there. And thank you for being honest about it. You do need to go out and examine your other possibilities. I loved you. I'm sorry, but I don't want this. I don't want a man who's not clear. Do your thing. In the meantime, I suggest we do not have any contact. I won't be responding to you. Best wishes. I mean, he's been bad, but he's not that bad because he took responsibility. Don't chase him. Don't play games. Let him go. If they need to sniff and chew, let them go. You never want somebody you have to keep under duress. You never want, even when I'm onboarding people for my course, if they're starting to kick up their heels, I'm like, I'm not here to convince you. You know who I am. You want to work with me, fine. You don't want to work with me, I'm not going to push you. I don't want anybody who doesn't want to be here. You want to be here? Great. You don't want to be here? I'm not going to convince you. I'm not. And you shouldn't either. Okay? Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to get off unless there are any last burning questions, burning desires. Write me if you have a video request. I may just pull it out and make it next week's conversation. B, Gwyneth, thank you so much for being here. Members, thank you. Nika and I adore you. She's resting, but thank you all. We will see you next week. Brian, everybody here, Katya, thank you, everyone. Tina, happy you joined us. Thank you, everybody. My very best to you. Happy dating, and see you next week. Bye-bye.